The morning sun cast long shadows across the Lunar Defense Station as Admiral James Thompson stared at the massive display screen before him. His coffee, now cold and forgotten, sat untouched on the console. The year was 2045, and humanity had finally begun to reach for the stars in earnest. Mars hosted a thriving colony of 10,000 souls, and the lunar bases had become humanity's first line of defense. That defense was about to be tested. "Sir, we're detecting multiple objects entering the solar system," reported Officer Robert White, his fingers dancing across the holographic controls. They're massive, sir. Largest is about the size of Manhattan." Thompson straightened his uniform, his weathered face showing no emotion despite the gravity of the situation. 25 years in Earth's United Space Force had taught him to keep calm in any situation. But this was different. This was what humanity had both feared and anticipated since they first looked up at the stars. "Show me," he ordered. The main screen filled with images from deep space telescopes. Hundreds of ships, their metallic hulls gleaming with an otherworldly purple sheen, moved in perfect formation. They were beautiful in their terrible precision, like a school of predatory fish approaching their prey. "Get me Earth Command," Thompson said, his voice steady. Within moments, the faces of Earth's military leadership appeared on secondary screens. General Mary Wilson, commander of global forces, spoke first. "We're seeing it, Admiral. First contact protocols are now in effect." Before anyone could respond, every screen in the station flickered. A face appeared, humanoid but clearly alien, with gray-blue skin and eyes that seemed to shimmer like oil on water. "People of Earth," the alien spoke in perfect English, its voice resonating with an unnatural harmony. "I am High Commander Dex of the Imperial Collective. We have watched your species for centuries, waiting for you to reach a suitable level of development. That time has come." Thompson's jaw tightened. The alien's casual admission of long-term surveillance was chilling. "Your species has shown remarkable progress," Dex continued. "Your potential is noteworthy. The Imperial Collective rules 70% of this galaxy. We bring order, progress, and protection. Your world will now join our empire. Resistance would be unfortunate." General Wilson stepped forward, her image prominent on the screen. "This is General Wilson of Earth's United Forces. We appreciate your offer, but Earth is a sovereign world." You misunderstand," Dex interrupted, his shimming eyes narrowing. "This is not an offer. This is notification. You have 24 Earth hours to submit to Imperial authority. Your Mars colony's continuation will depend on your choice." The transmission cut off abruptly. In the following hours, Earth's military installations hummed with activity. Politicians argued in emergency sessions, scientists analyzed the alien transmission, and military leaders assessed their options. In the lunar station, Thompson coordinated with Earth's modest space fleet, 50 ships of varying sizes, all designed for solar system defense, none intended to face an interstellar empire. "Admiral," Officer White called out, his voice breaking the tense silence. "Analysis of their ships shows energy readings off the scale. Their smallest vessel outputs more power than our entire lunar base." Thompson nodded, studying the tactical displays. Earth's ships looked like toys compared to the alien fleet, but something about the situation bothered him, a nagging feeling he couldn't shake. "Why give us 24 hours?" he muttered. "With their technology, they could take Earth immediately." "Sir, they're overconfident," Thompson replied, a grim smile forming on his face. "They've probably done this hundreds of times to other worlds. It's routine for them. And that's their mistake." He pressed a button on his console, connecting to Earth Command. "General Wilson, I believe I know why they're really giving us time. They want us to understand how hopeless our situation is. They want our surrender to come from despair." "Agreed," Wilson responded. "But they don't understand humanity very well, do they?" "No, Thompson said, watching as Earth's ships moved into defensive positions. They don't understand us at all. When humans face despair, we don't give up. He paused, looking at the massive alien fleet. We get creative. As the 24-hour deadline approached, humanity prepared not for surrender, but for the greatest fight in its history. The Imperial Collective was about to learn a harsh lesson. Threatening Earth was the biggest mistake they could have made. The 24-hour deadline passed. Earth had given its answer, a firm no to surrender. In the Lunar Command Center, Admiral Thompson watched the tactical display with growing unease. The alien fleet had started moving, but not toward Earth as expected. Instead, they turned toward Mars. They're targeting the Mars colony, Officer White announced, his voice tight with tension. Energy readings from their ships are increasing. Thompson grabbed his communication link. Get me Mars colony control. Now. The screen flickered to life, showing the face of Colony Director Tom Baker. Static interrupted the transmission every few seconds. Admiral, we're detecting multiple ships approaching. Our shields are at maximum, but a brilliant flash of light filled all the screens. When it faded, the Mars colony was gone. Where the red planet's largest human settlement once stood, only a smoking crater remained. 10,000 lives ended in an instant. Transmission from the Imperial fleet, Officer White reported, his hands shaking. High Commander Dex's face appeared on the main screen, his oil-slick eyes showing no emotion. Consider this a demonstration of mercy. We could have targeted Earth. Your Mars colony served as a suitable warning. You have 12 more hours to reconsider your position. Back on Earth, in the underground Global Defense Facility, Dr. Anna Miller worked frantically at her research station. As the world's leading expert in quantum communications, she had noticed something strange about the alien ships during the attack. General Wilson, she called out, waving over Earth's military commander. I found something. Look at these readings from the Mars attack. The general approached, studying the complex data streams on Dr. Miller's screen. What am I looking at? Their ships, Dr. Miller explained, pulling up multiple graphs. They all fired at exactly the same microsecond. Not just synchronized, but literally the same instant. That's impossible unless... She paused, her eyes widening. Unless they're quantum linked. In simple terms, Doctor, their entire fleet shares one consciousness, one network. It's why they're so coordinated. But it's also a weakness. Dr. Miller's fingers flew across her keyboard. If we can infect one ship, we can infect them all. General Wilson's expression hardened. How long to develop something that could exploit this? A few hours to write the virus, but delivery is the problem. We need to get past their shields first. At that moment, Admiral Thompson's face appeared on the main screen. General, we've analyzed the Mars attack. Their shields have a peculiar reaction to nuclear detonations. They don't just block them, they absorb the energy. Dr. Miller jumped up. That's it. We can hide the virus inside a nuclear missile. When their shields absorb the energy, they'll absorb the virus too. Wilson finished. She immediately opened a channel to all Earth's military commands. All units, commence Operation Silent Strike. This is not a drill. Over the next 10 hours, Earth appeared to prepare for conventional warfare. Military bases worldwide brought out their oldest nuclear weapons, making sure the alien fleet could observe the movement. Underground, Dr. Miller and her team worked desperately to complete their digital weapon. In space, the Imperial fleet watched Earth's preparations with amusement. High Commander Dex sent reports back to the Empire about the primitives preparing to use nuclear weapons, a technology the Empire had surpassed millennia ago. Their stubbornness is almost admirable, Dex commented to his subordinates. But like all primitive species, they must learn their place. As the 12-hour deadline neared its end, Admiral Thompson stood in the lunar base, watching Earth's missiles being armed with their secret weapon. Status report on Operation Silent Strike. All missiles equipped with the quantum virus. Sir, Officer White confirmed. Dr. Miller says we'll only get one shot at this. Thompson nodded, his expression grim. The Empire thinks they taught us a lesson by destroying Mars, but they're about to learn something about humanity. He paused, looking at the massive alien fleet. We don't take kindly to bullies, no matter how big they are. The clock ticked down, and humanity prepared to show the Imperial Collective why threatening Earth had been their greatest mistake. The real war was about to begin. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a secret facility converted from an old military bunker, Dr. Miller hadn't slept in 36 hours. Cups of empty coffee surrounded her workstation as she refined the quantum virus. The destruction of Mars had only fueled her determination. "The virus is ready," she announced to her team. "But we need to test it." In the corner of the lab, a captured piece of alien technology lay inside a sealed chamber. The small device, no bigger than a laptop, had been retrieved from debris that reached Earth after the Mars attack. It still pulsed with the same purple energy that powered the Imperial ships. "Start the test," General Wilson commanded from her observation post. The room fell silent as Dr. Miller initiated the program. The alien device flickered, its purple glow turning red, then black. Then, unexpectedly, every computer in the facility connected to it shut down simultaneously. "What happened?" Wilson demanded. Dr. Miller smiled for the first time in days. "Exactly what we wanted. The virus doesn't just infect their systems, it spreads through their entire quantum network, like a disease jumping between connected bodies." Above ground, Earth continued its show of conventional military preparation. Old missile silos were reopened. Nuclear submarines surfaced briefly, making sure the alien fleet's sensors would detect them. Everything to convince the Empire that humanity was preparing for a desperate, doomed last stand. In the Lunar Command Center, Admiral Thompson coordinated the deception. Status of the civilian evacuation. Officer White checked his displays. "Underground bunkers are at 80% capacity, sir. But," he hesitated, "we're not actually hiding civilians in them." "No," Thompson agreed. "Those bunkers are now weapon labs. Every major facility on Earth is working on copying Dr. Miller's virus. We'll need multiple versions when we strike." The Imperial fleet remained in position, their massive ships casting shadows on the moon's surface when they passed before the sun. High Commander Dex sent regular updates to the Empire's Central Command. "The humans continue their primitive preparations," he reported. "They appear to be readying nuclear weapons. Most amusing. Our shields will absorb any such attack, making their weapons useless." His second-in-command spoke up. "Should we not be concerned? No species has ever refused our initial offer of submission." Dex's shimming eyes showed only contempt. "Their defiance comes from ignorance. They have no concept of our true power. When we strike, they will learn, like all others before them." Back on Earth, in research facilities hidden across the globe, humanity's best minds worked together with a single purpose. The virus program was copied, modified, and improved. Each version was tested on the salvaged alien technology, each success bringing humanity closer to its counterattack. Dr. Miller explained the final plan to the Global Military Command. "The virus has one primary goal: to turn their quantum connection against them. Every ship in their fleet is linked. They think this makes them invincible. Instead, it makes them vulnerable." "Like a chain of dominoes," General Wilson added. "Hit one, they all fall." "Exactly," Miller confirmed. "But we need them to take the bait. Their shields need to be active, absorbing energy, when we strike." Admiral Thompson's voice came through the command center speakers. "That won't be a problem. The Empire's arrogance is their weakness. They'll want their shields at full power to demonstrate how useless our nuclear weapons are." In orbit, the Imperial fleet began to move into attack formation. The massive ships arranged themselves in a perfect geometric pattern, their purple-hued energy shields creating a spectacular light show visible from Earth's surface. High Commander Dex prepared his final message to Earth. Let them see our full glory before they submit, he told his crew. Their primitive weapons will shatter against our shields, and they will finally understand the futility of resistance. But in bunkers and bases across the planet, humanity prepared to teach the Empire a lesson about underestimating Earth. The virus was ready. The nuclear missiles were armed. Operation Silent Strike was about to begin. Dr. Miller looked at her final creation, now loaded into Earth's missile systems. They thought Mars was a warning shot to us, she said quietly. They're about to find out what a real warning shot feels like. The Imperial fleet darkened Earth's skies as thousands of ships moved into attack position. Their massive hulls blocked out the sun, creating an artificial eclipse over major cities. High Commander Dex stood on his bridge, preparing to launch the invasion that would finally bring Earth to its knees. Begin the attack, he ordered. Show them the full might of the Imperial Collective. The first wave of alien ships descended through Earth's atmosphere. Their energy weapons powered up, creating a beautiful but terrifying purple aurora in the sky. Cities across the globe lay in darkness under their shadow. In the underground command center, General Wilson watched the invasion unfold on multiple screens. She pressed a button on her command console. Admiral Thompson, they've taken the bait. All ships are in position with shields at maximum power. Confirmed. Thompson's voice came through. From his lunar base, he had a perfect view of the invasion fleet. Dr. Miller, are you ready? Dr. Miller sat at her station, surrounded by screens showing the virus program status. Ready. All missile sites are synchronized. We'll only get one chance at this. General Wilson's voice remained steady as she gave the order that would change humanity's fate. Launch Operation Silent Strike. All sites, fire at will. Across the planet, silo doors opened. Submarines surfaced. Mountain bunkers revealed hidden launch pads. Over 300 nuclear missiles rose into the sky, their trails creating a web of white smoke across the globe. High Commander Dex observed the launch with amusement. Primitive nuclear weapons, he commented to his bridge crew. Watch how our shields render them harmless. Record everything. This will serve as an excellent teaching example for future conquests. The Imperial ship's shields brightened, preparing to absorb the nuclear energy. Just as Dr. Miller had predicted, they made no attempt to shoot down the missiles. Why waste energy destroying weapons that posed no threat? Missile impact in 10 seconds, Officer White announced from the lunar base. 9, 8. Dr. Miller watched her screens intently. The virus is armed, ready to activate on energy absorption. 5, 4, 3. Shields at maximum power, Dex announced proudly. Let them witness true technological superiority. 2, 1. The nuclear explosions lit up Earth's orbit like new suns. The Imperial shields glowed brilliantly as they absorbed the massive energy release. For a moment, everything went according to the Empire's expectations. Then the shields changed color. What's happening? Dex demanded as the purple energy turned red, then black. Ship after ship reported system failures. The quantum network that connected their fleet began to collapse. In the command center, Dr. Miller's screens lit up with success indicators. Virus penetration achieved. It's spreading through their network faster than we calculated. The quantum link is doing our work for us. The great Imperial ships began to drift. Their weapons powered down. Life support systems switched to emergency power. The mighty invasion fleet was transforming into a field of powerless metal hulks. Admiral Thompson watched from the lunar base as the Empire's technology turned against them. Launch our defense fleet. Take control of their disabled ships. No survivors. Earth's 50 ships, small but now overwhelmingly powerful against the defenseless Imperial fleet, began their counterattack. Humanity's vessels, immune to the virus, methodically disabled or destroyed the dying Imperial ships. High Commander Dex stared in disbelief as his mighty fleet crumbled. Impossible. They're primitives. They couldn't. His final transmission was cut short as his flagship's systems failed completely. In the underground command center, Cheers erupted as screens showed the Empire's fleet falling into chaos. But Dr. Miller remained focused on her monitors. The virus is still spreading through their quantum network. It's not just affecting the ships here, it's transmitting back to their empire. General Wilson nodded grimly. Good. They wanted to teach us a lesson about power. Instead, we're going to teach them one about underestimating humanity. As Earth's ships moved through the disabled Imperial fleet, humanity prepared for its next move. The counterattack had succeeded beyond their wildest hopes. But this was just the beginning. The virus was traveling faster than light through the quantum network, carrying humanity's revenge to the heart of the Empire itself. The war was far from over, but in a single strike, humanity had transformed from prey to predator. The Empire was about to learn why Earth should never have been threatened. The Imperial capital world of Prime received High Commander Dex's final transmission, just as their quantum network began to collapse. Across thousands of worlds, Imperial technology started failing. The virus spread through their systems like wildfire through dry grass. In the great Imperial palace, Emperor Vax watched in horror as reports flooded in from across the galaxy. How is this possible? He demanded of his advisors. They were primitives. They had only reached their own moon. One of his science advisors, face pale with fear, explained, "We never considered they would turn our quantum network against us. Our greatest strength became our greatest weakness." Back on Earth, humanity wasted no time. Admiral Thompson coordinated with the ground teams studying the captured Imperial ships. What have we learned from their technology? Dr. Miller, now working from a captured Imperial cruiser, responded through the comm system. Their basic technology isn't that different from ours, just more advanced. But now that we can access their systems, we can adapt them quickly. We've already modified 20 of our ships with their drive systems. In the week following Earth's counterattack, humanity's transformation was incredible. Teams of engineers and scientists swarmed over the disabled Imperial vessels, learning their secrets, improving their designs. Earth's 50 ships became 100, then 200, as captured vessels were repaired and upgraded. We've cracked their faster-than-light travel system, Dr. Miller reported to the Global Command. And we've made it better. They relied too much on their quantum network. Our version works independently. General Wilson studied the tactical displays showing the spread of the virus through Imperial space. How far has it reached? Based on their own communication channels we've decoded, over 60% of Imperial space is affected. Officer White reported from his news station aboard the captured flagship. Their entire civilization is falling apart. They never prepared for something like this. The Empire's response was chaos. Worlds that had depended entirely on Imperial technologies suddenly found themselves isolated and helpless. The mighty Imperial fleet, once numbering in the thousands, was reduced to scattered groups of ships running on backup systems. Admiral Thompson stood on the bridge of Earth's new flagship, a modified Imperial destroyer now named Mars Remembers. His fleet was preparing for its first faster-than-light jump. Status report on the civilian evacuation of Imperial worlds. "The outer colonies are accepting our help," came the response. They saw what happened to their fleet. None of them want to fight. The virus showed them how vulnerable they really were. In the Imperial palace, Emperor Vax faced the harsh reality of his empire's collapse. "Send terms of surrender to Earth," he ordered, his voice shaking. "Offer them anything they want." But Earth had learned from history. General Wilson's response to the surrender offer was brief. "Unconditional surrender only. Mars will be avenged." The former Imperial worlds watched in awe as Earth's fleet arrived in system after system. Humanity came not just with weapons, but with solutions. Teams of engineers helped restore basic services. Medical ships provided aid. But there was no doubt about who was in charge now. Dr. Miller continued to study the quantum network's remains. "We should rebuild it," she suggested to the military command. "But this time with safeguards. We can use it to help reorganize these worlds." Admiral Thompson agreed. But first, we make sure every world can function independently. No more relying on a single point of failure. In just 1 month, humanity had gone from a single-system civilization to commanding the largest territory in known space. The Empire's fall served as a lesson to other alien civilizations. Earth was not to be underestimated. General Wilson stood in the new Earth Command Center, watching reports come in from across former Imperial space. "They thought they were teaching us our place in the galaxy," she said to her staff. "Instead, we taught them something far more important." "What's that, General?" a young officer asked. "Never start a fight unless you're absolutely sure you can finish it," she replied, looking at an image of the rebuilt Mars colony. "And never, ever threaten Earth." 3 months after Earth's counterattack, the galaxy had changed beyond recognition. The once mighty Imperial Palace on Prime now served as Earth's central command center. Admiral Thompson stood at its highest tower, watching ships with Earth's new flag coming and going through the planet's busy spaceports. "Status report on the Imperial leadership hunt," he commanded. Officer White, now promoted to fleet captain, brought up a holographic map. "We've captured most of the Imperial Council, sir. Emperor Vax is still hiding, but we've tracked him to the Outer Rim sectors." The hunt for Imperial leaders had become humanity's priority. After their failed surrender attempt, many had fled with whatever ships still worked. But they had nowhere to run. The virus had spread through every corner of their former empire. In her new research facility on Prime, Dr. Miller led the effort to rebuild and improve Imperial technology. "Look at this," she said to General Wilson during an inspection. Their ships were actually quite inefficient. They relied on the quantum network for everything, never developing their systems fully. She pointed to a new ship design on her screen. "We've improved their engine efficiency by 300%. Their weapons were powerful but slow. Ours are now twice as powerful and 3 times faster." Humanity's military doctrine had shocked the galaxy. The Empire had always used overwhelming force to demand surrender. Earth's approach was different. They struck hard, fast, and without warning. Other alien civilizations started calling them the Human Storm. At a diplomatic meeting with representatives from neighboring star nations, General Wilson made Earth's position clear. "We didn't ask for this war. We didn't want it. But when the Empire killed our people on Mars, they learned why humans don't do things halfway." The alien diplomats shifted uncomfortably in their seats. One of them, a tall being with crystalline skin, spoke up. "What are your terms for peace with the rest of the galaxy?" Wilson's answer was simple. "Don't threaten us. Don't harm us. Trade fairly with us. Do these things, and you'll find humans to be good friends and allies." Back in Earth's solar system, the Mars colony was being rebuilt, bigger and stronger than before. A massive memorial stood where the original colony had been destroyed, its black surface inscribed with the names of the 10,000 victims. On Prime, the capture of another Imperial Council member brought new information. Admiral Thompson interrogated the prisoner himself. "Why did you really attack Earth?" he demanded. "The truth this time." The council member, his purple skin pale with fear, finally revealed. "We saw your potential. Your adaptability scared us. We've ruled for so long, we couldn't risk a species like yours growing stronger." Thompson laughed coldly. "So you attacked us because you were afraid we might become powerful. Your attack guaranteed it." In the following weeks, Earth's forces found and captured Emperor Vax hiding on a mining colony. His arrest marked the official end of the Imperial Collective. But humanity wasn't finished. Dr. Miller's teams had not only mastered Imperial technology, but had begun reshaping it. The quantum network was being rebuilt, this time with multiple redundancies and safeguards. Every world would have independent systems, but could connect to the network for faster travel and communication. "We're creating something better than an empire," she explained to the military command. "A true galactic community, with Earth at its heart." As news of Emperor Vax's capture spread, the last pockets of Imperial resistance surrendered. Other alien civilizations, seeing humanity's power and efficiency, began seeking alliances. General Wilson stood before the Earth Council, delivering her final report on the war. The Empire thought they were gods among the stars. They thought their technology made them invincible. But they learned what every human knows. True strength isn't in your weapons. It's in how far you're willing to go when someone threatens your home. Across the former Imperial worlds, a new era was beginning. Humanity had entered the galactic stage, not as conquered subjects, but as unstoppable conquerors. Yet they offered something the Empire never had, the chance for true partnership under fair rules. The galaxy was learning an important lesson. Humans make better friends than enemies. The question was, would the rest of the galaxy be wise enough to choose friendship? 1 year after the Empire's fall, Earth had transformed the galaxy. The trial of Emperor Vax and his Imperial Council took place in a newly built galactic court on Mars, a symbolic choice that showed both humanity's justice and its memory. Admiral Thompson, now Supreme Commander of Earth's Defense Force, stood watching the proceedings. The once mighty Emperor looked small in the defendant's box, his shimming eyes now dull with defeat. For crimes against sentient beings, including the massacre of the Mars colony, the chief judge announced, "This court sentences you to life imprisonment on Earth's maximum security asteroid facility. You will spend your days watching the very humans you tried to destroy thrive among the stars." In the research capital on Prime, Dr. Miller led the biggest scientific revolution in galactic history. The new quantum network she designed connected thousands of worlds, but differently than before. Every world now has its own independent systems, she explained to visiting alien scientists. The network enhances capabilities but isn't required for survival. We learned that lesson from the Empire's fall. The aliens watched in amazement as she demonstrated Earth's improvements to their technology. Faster ships, better weapons, more efficient energy systems, but all with multiple backups and failsafes. General Wilson, now heading the new Galactic Defense Council, had established clear rules for all civilizations in Earth-controlled space. Trade freely, share knowledge, respect boundaries. Break these rules, and you'll learn why the Empire fell. The Mars Memorial had become a galactic symbol. Alien visitors came to pay respects, leaving tokens from their worlds. The message was clear. Never again would such an atrocity be allowed. In Earth's new shipyards orbiting Jupiter, hundreds of vessels were under construction. But they weren't all warships. Research vessels, colony ships, and trading craft formed the bulk of the fleet. "We're not building an empire," Officer White, now Fleet Admiral White, told a group of alien representatives. "We're building a community. But make no mistake, we'll defend it with everything we have." The former imperial worlds were flourishing under the new system. Each planet governed itself, but followed Earth's basic laws. Trade flowed freely between systems. Knowledge was shared. Old rivalries faded as species worked together. Dr. Miller's final project was unveiled at a galactic ceremony, a massive space station at the solar system's edge. "This is humanity's gate," she announced, "a symbol of our new role in the galaxy. We stand guard not just for ourselves, but for all peaceful species." The station served as both warning and welcome. Its powerful weapons could destroy any threat, but its massive docking bays welcomed traders and diplomats from across the galaxy. In the new Earth Council chamber, built from the ruins of the Imperial Palace, Admiral Thompson addressed representatives from 100 worlds. "1 year ago, we were attacked because the Empire feared what we might become. They were right to be afraid, not because we were a threat, but because we represented change. They chose to rule through fear. We choose to lead through respect." He paused, looking at the Earth flag now flying where Imperial banners once hung. Humanity could have built a new empire. Instead, we built something stronger, a galaxy where every species can grow, trade, and thrive. But never forget Mars. Never forget what happens when someone mistakes kindness for weakness. The galaxy entered a new golden age, Ships carrying Earth's flag became a common sight in distant systems. Human innovations spread across the stars. Other species learned to speak Earth languages, adopted human customs, sought human allies. In the rebuilt Mars colony, now a thriving city of millions, a new plaque was added to the memorial. It read, "Here lies the Empire's greatest mistake. They thought they were gods among the stars. They learned that humans don't bow to gods. We overcome them." The Empire had wanted to teach humanity its place in the galaxy. Instead, humanity had taught the galaxy its true potential. Earth had entered the cosmic stage, not as servants or subjects, but as guardians of a new era. And among the stars, a saying spread: "Make friends with humans, respect their rules, and the galaxy is yours to explore. But threaten Earth, and you'll learn why the Empire fell."